Central Library played host to the Indiana Author Fair on September 26th. The day began with a panel of writers and editors from the Writers Center of Indiana explaining how to get works published. Then, over 40 Indiana authors, from best-selling to up-and-coming authors, signed and sold copies of their works in the Simon Reading Room.
Oh, I think it's great, and it's wonderful to be with other writers and to exchange ideas and get information, and to be part of the Indiana Authors Awards, which is wonderful for writers, for readers, and for Indiana in general. It's a great thing.
As a writer myself, I hardly ever have a chance to visit with my fellow writers in this way. Most other author fairs, I have to admit, are very adult-oriented, but because we're here in the library, it's such a family orientation, and that's what's exciting.
Oh, it's just been great. I hope this is an annual event. I commend the library for doing it. It's always wonderful to give authors exposure. It's always great to meet the people that read your books, and especially the setting. I've always loved, I feel like this old, what's now called the Cray building, part of the library, is my favorite interior of a public space in Indianapolis. So I think it's just great.
The highlight of the day was a Meet the Authors program that included those being honored with the first Eugene and Marilyn Glick Indiana Authors Award. On hand were emerging finalists Kathleen Hughes, Christine Montross, and Greg Schwips. Regional finalists Jared Carter, James H. Madison, and Susan Neville. National finalists Margaret McMullen and Scott Russell Sanders. And the national winner, James Alexander Tom.
There are a lot of people around here that can write as well as or better than I can, and historical fiction is not a genre that has a whole lot of respect in the world, you know. What I've been trying to do, of course, is lift the standard.
I'm just one writer, but there are many wonderful writers across the state. Some are collected in this room, but there are many fine writers elsewhere in the state. And it encourages young people who think about going into writing, also encourages young people to take reading more seriously, and in particular within the state of Indiana to take seriously the kind of writing that is accomplished here. Much of it actually is set in the state of Indiana or addresses issues in the state of Indiana. Some may be set elsewhere, but it's created by people who have a real strong connection to our home state. It's always an encouragement for artists to feel that not just their own personal work, but that the kind of work that they're doing is being honored in the state. For me personally, it's gratifying to be in this company. I think very highly of all these writers, and in particular, I am extremely pleased that James Alexander Tom, Jim Tom, who's a longtime friend, a man whom I've read for years and also admired for years, that he was selected as the national winner this year.
The Eugene and Marilyn Glick Indiana Authors Award is a program of the IMCPL Foundation and is made possible by the Glick Fund, a fund of the Central Indiana Community Foundation.